So here we go. Plenty to discuss. Australian press conference already on, and all our folks are there. They will join any moment. Gargi already with me in the morning show. Shubhayan, Devashish, and Rohit Juglan will join very, very soon. What is the team that we are getting? We will talk about that. Plenty of talk about Ravi Chandran and Ashwin. We will talk about that. We've got multiple clips to play. There's a lot that will happen in this show. Gandhi, why don't you set it up? Why don't you set it up with one of the clips that you want to play, and then we will take the debate forward as we also get all our people from Australia to join in.
Why don't we start with Rishabh Pant?
Sure, why not? Absolutely. Let's start with Rishabh Pant. Rishabh Pant going to be, according to you, in this series? And it's such a life story for all of us.
Yeah, look, to be honest, I couldn't be happier for anyone more than Rishabh Pant. I think it's an amazing story. What a tough journey, true character, hard work, dedication to just get back onto the field, let alone to, be back playing at his best. I think, and I've said this on my radio show here in Australia, I think Rishabh Pant technically is good enough to bat in India's top 4 if needed. I know he's got a wicket keep. I know it's hard on your body. I know there's 5 test matches. And if he bats at 5, 6, 7, he'll have major impact. If Virat Kohli is the leading run scorer for India in this series, which I think if India to win he needs to be, Rishabh Pant will be second. He'll be very close. He's technically, in Australian conditions with a bit of extra pace and bounce, he's good enough to bat in the top order. He's good enough to face the Australian quicks with that brand new ball. He'll take Nathan Lyon on. He won't back down against that challenge. So he's as important a player in this Indian team as anyone else.
Mute.
Huge statement on Rishabh Pant coming from Michael Clarke. Plenty of questions already. Vivek Bhagat, Ashwin is playing Indian Express Sports. Vivek, Indian Express Sports doesn't decide the Indian team. The Indian team management does. What anybody can say is likely, and we have been saying this, that likely, because that's what we've been hearing, and we've continuously said likely. And a lot of the experts have also spoken saying India should play Ashwin, whether it is Saurav Ganguly, whether it is Michael Clarke, whether it is Brad Hogg. A lot of these guys have said that play Ashwin because he's your best spinner. But no media person, no journalist can say, Ashwin is playing. He's not part of the Indian team management. So Indian Express Sports or Rev Sports or Times of India or anybody for that matter, we can at best say likely, because still 3 days. Today's the 20th. 48 hours still to go for the test match. So we've got to be clear on what we are saying. Devashish Sen joins us from the Australian practice. Devashish, the first thing, again, he's being disturbed by flies. Perth is
the flies
as far as flies are concerned. So, Devashish, the question we are asking on Ravi Ashwin, what we are hearing is likely. We are continuously saying Ravi Ashwin is a possibility. We've been debating this, discussing this. We will play the Brad Hogg clip. Gargi, you have the Brad Hogg clip on Ravi Ashwin, which Devashish had interviewed. Play that, and let's go to Devashish on that.
Obviously, he has an incredible record against Smith, Labuschagne and Khwaja. But seldom do you find Ashwin featuring in that playing 11 when India plays a test match overseas.
Yeah.
So do you see Ashwin in that playing 11?
Yeah, it depends how they want to use Jadeja, really. Do they see Jadeja? I'd have Axar Patel over here as well. I think Axar Patel is probably a better option than Jadeja here in Australia. Taller bowler, gets the extra bounce as well, but also can handle the bat like Jadeja. But you'd have to change the balance up. You'll probably go 1 spinner and 3 quicks, and hopefully it's a pity that you don't have a genuine all-rounder that can bowl a bit of medium pace like Australia. But yeah, I think Ashwin and Jadeja should play. Jadeja's very good in the first innings. I think with the ball skidding on over here with the greener wickets, but as the wicket wears down, this is where Ashwin comes into. So they've got 2 spinners that are unique in a sense that they're going to give the team benefit on the different days of the test match. If you can understand what I'm saying.
Yes.
So there you go, Brad Hogg to Devashish Sen. Before I go to Gargi, Devashish, what was it? Rohit Juglan also joins me from Perth. Wow, looking dapper all of you. One is in orange, one is in black and white. one is wonderful. So Devashish, Brad Hogg also voicing for Ashwin. Before I ask Rohit and Gargi, what is it likely? How have you guys seen Ashwin? There's a lot of talk from what I've heard. Likely that Ashwin will play. Tell me your thoughts.
Yeah, Boyada, I have also mentioned it yesterday in the live that we have hardly seen Ravindra Jadeja bowl in the nets ever since he arrived in Australia. So that's an area where it means whether he's carrying any niggles or whether he's something is means obviously we didn't see Jadeja bowl in the nets. So that therein lies a doubt whether he's going to play in only as a batter. And we saw yesterday Ravichandran Ashwin and Washington Sundar bowling in tandem at the nets in one of the nets, and there only those two spinners were there. So clearly, there's an if the nets are an indication, then clearly either of the two off spinners might be seen in action. And in this case, Ashwin being the senior, is being the experience of the two, I see Ashwin has a fair chance of getting into the playing 11. And yes, because the sheer fact is that it's not just about the fast bowlers here on this wicket. Since the wicket will offer you bounce, so and Ashwin has a good case of him being included in the playing 11.
Rohit Juglan, your thoughts on that? Because as I said, we are hearing that there is a lot of likelihood that Ashwin might just get a look in. From what you've seen, Ashwin, he's going to address the press conference today. Your thoughts? Is that a likely possibility? What are you hearing, Rohit?
Whatever, yes, as you said that, as Devashish said that we haven't seen Ravindra Jadeja bowl, haven't bowled a single over since the time we have landed here. From 15th onwards, we are there in the match simulation. We were there, in each and every practice session India had. In that practice session, Ravindra Jadeja haven't bowled a single delivery. And we have questioned it from the very first day that if Manav Sutar, you can play Manav Sutar, why can't you just, tell Ravindra Jadeja to bowl and let that left-hand bowling equation comes into play. So from that point also we were very surprised that why Jadeja batted on the second day, the last day of the match simulation, and when there was no match simulation, they were just doing the practice thing. So there I can completely see that there is something has been communicated to Ravindra Jadeja. Yesterday also Ravindra Jadeja, Ravichandran Ashwin, Gautam Gambhir, they stood nearby the pitch. Gautam had a word. Gautam had a little chat, with both of them. And then, Ravindra Jadeja went away and Ashwin had a look of the wicket. Ashwin had a, fair look of the wicket. And after that, he joined Washington Sundar and Ravindra Jadeja in the nets, where he again bowled for at least 45 minutes, and then the rain interrupted. But, seeing, as Devashish there rightly said, seeing as per what's going on in the nets, as what's going on the practice, looks like that there is a chance for Ravichandran Ashwin, but and then the stats, obviously what Nathan Lyon achieved in this ground is again, you can't ignore that equation, what he has done in this ground. So and the last thing will be what Ashwin did last time around. Steve Smith, Manas Labuschagne, his average against Usman Khwaja, you can't just ignore that. But for me, it will be very tough for them to say to Ravindra Jadeja that we don't want to go with you as per the first test playing 11. But it's little difficult for me. The things are making sense, as far as Ashwin is concerned. But it's getting very difficult for me to understand this who will be out if Ashwin going to be in the playing 11.
Yeah, see, that is the point. I mean, as journalists, you are supposed to say what you are seeing, what you are hearing, and basis your sources what is likely. None of us are in a position to talk about saying X is playing or Y is playing. That's not our job, because we are not part of the management. That is their job. They will decide the playing 11. So absolutely perfect. That's what I want to know from you and Devashish, Rohit, as what you are seeing, because from what I've heard, there is a huge likelihood, which I've been saying for the last day and a half. Gargi, where do you stand on this before I ask Ogni?
I've been backing for Ashwin's inclusion for a very long time. Not just Ashwin, but also Ashwin and Jadeja together. Because the points that Rohit made, the points that Brad Hogg made, I don't think I need to add anything more to that. With Perth, in mind. I think that's the perfect combination. Ashwin, like Brad Hogg said, Ashwin comes in when the pitch starts wearing off, and it sort of helps in stabilizing the batting as well. We've seen Ashwin and Jadeja's partnership bail us out multiple times, and it just helps having that sort of solidity in your batting lineup when it comes to the tail. So I want both of them in my team, and if these reports are true, if what we're hearing is actually what's going to happen, then this is a good decision.
Ashwin will be addressing a press conference today, by the way, just so all of you know. Though Rohit and Devashish and Shubhan, all of them will be there. All of them will be there and they will report. The Australian press conference is on. Shubhan, I think, is there. Devashish and Rohit have joined the live show. It is on at the moment. That's where Devashish is confirming. So clearly, our reporters will get you all the details. We will give you every possible detail. But Ogni, you've been voicing for Ravichandran Ashwin. You said that also on the show. Your thought, because I've been saying this for a day and a half. There is very solid chance, likelihood that Ravi Ashwin will get a look in. Ogni, where do you stand on this? Before you say, Bharat Arun yesterday, India's bowling coach in 18 and 21. We had a long interview which we will play tomorrow. Bharat was clear, play Ashwin in the first test. Basis what was done in 21 with Bharat, Ravi and Ashwin working out Steve Smith. Ogni.
See, there are three reasons, Boryada, why I always backed Ashwin to play. See, I am nobody to back him. He's a champion athlete. He's one of the greatest in the game. And he's one of the most brilliant match winners Indian Test cricket has ever seen for a long, long time. But let's keep those aside. I had three reasons. One is in the absence of Rohit, and now we know that Shubman Gill is not playing the first test. You need a core leadership group on the field. So who is your core leadership group? There is a Bumrah, yes. There is a Virat Kohli, undoubtedly. There is a Rishabh Pant, and Ashwin brings loads of experience onto the playing field. And what I love about Ashwin is he thinks the game tactically. He thinks it from here. So you will need Ashwin's brains to work out the Aussies. Number one. Number two, there are quite a certain amount of left-handers in Australian squad. We have to speak about Usman Khawaja. We know Travis Head will also be playing probably. So there are quite a bit of left-handers in the Australian squad. Ashwin is going to be very effective against them. And as Gargi said very rightly, that Ashwin is coming into the play when the pitch is wearing off. So it's very important. It's essential. Now, we've always talked about the pace battery. Who is going to play? So so Bumrah will definitely start. So who else? Prasidh will play, or Siraj will play, or Harshit Rana will play. But let's look at Australia's batting trinity against Indian spin. Smith against Ashwin.
Okay. Give us the stats. Then I'll go to Devashish.
Yeah. So Smith against Ashwin, 8 dismissals averaging 34. Smith against Jadeja, 8 dismissals averaging 36. Let's keep Jadeja aside. So Labuschagne against Ashwin, 3 dismissals averaging only 17. Khawaja against Ashwin, 4 dismissals averaging 10.25. It's a no-brainer. If one spinner has to play, it has to be Ashwin, because if Nitish Reddy bats at number 7, Ashwin definitely gives you that batting depth at 8. 6-7 test hundreds don't come that easy.
Good point, and clearly the point being made about Ashwin's effectiveness. Devashish Sen, the other thing is, what we are not talking about is the bounce. Ravichandran Ashwin thrives with the bounce. The number of revolutions from the ball, the way he will bowl, he's a taller bowler. He will get that bounce. Also, people are asking you and Rohit, have you guys seen Ashwin back at the nets? Because that batting will also be important. Devashish, you first and then Rohit.
Yeah, we saw Ashwin bat in the net. So he bowled, he batted. So definitely, he's in the scheme of things. Let us put it, as you rightly said at the start of the broadcast, is that we are no one to judge who is playing or confirm who is playing or who is not. It's a work of the team management. But as far as the practice session goes, with what we are observing, we can say that. So clearly, Ravi Ashwin has batted in the nets and he has also bowled in the nets. Whereas Jadeja has only batted in the nets, and yesterday also. But one thing, what is that? What Arnie just shared the stat, that most of his wickets are in Indian subcontinent. As far as Ashwin is concerned, yes, the bounce is a factor, as Boryada rightly said. Bounce can be a factor, and the revelation Ashwin gets. Brad Hogg in that interview did mention that he has developed a skill while going to play county cricket. So Ashwin, he is with more experience, and obviously He's always a thinking bowler, so that might be in his favor. And when you look at the stats, obviously, there's always a case of playing Ashwin, at least for the first test match of the series, where the wickets here at the Optus Stadium will offer bounce.
One reason for that, Devashish, is probably you haven't given Ashwin enough chance overseas. You haven't played him in the two
Exactly.
WTC finals. And who is your scapegoat every time it's Ashwin? You make him sit out. Whether the conditions, see, he's your frontline spinner. He's your best bet. You have to play him, irrespective of the conditions and the surface.
Yeah, some of you are saying about the volume from Perth. That is because there's a lot of wind. So these guys have noise cancellation microphones and everything, but there is a lot of wind. Debashish's voice was cutting off a little bit because of that, because it's outdoors. They're doing it from outside the stadium. So bear with us on that front. Rohit, your thoughts on Ashwin? Two questions for you straight. Ashwin's batting, will that be effective? Because clearly lower down the order, he can be very handy with the bat. Number 7, number 8. More importantly, my conversations with Ashwin after the New Zealand series, one, he was hurting very badly. 2, he's in a good space mentally for any kind of challenge. When a player is in a good space, that, I've done this in Australia last time round, I worked Steve Smith out, I want to do it again, you give that guy an opportunity. Rohit Juglan.
Yes, batting wise, obviously, Burjada, he's a big plus. If you see the bowling lineup, in the likes of Bumrahs and all Siraj, they can't, very much assure you with the bat. Yes, Bumrah had a good outing as far as the Lord's partnership with Mohammad Shami is concerned. He did well last time around when they did a tour here down under. On the practice game, he did really well with the bat. But if you see Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Siraj, or Harshit Rana, plus if they are going with Harshit Rana or Prasidh Krishna, you can't expect them to give you more with the bat. But with the other side, if you see, you can expect something from Mitch Starc, you can expect something from Patrick Cummins, and then okay, Josh Hazelwood is okay. So, but till Patrick Cummins and Nathan Lyon is there, you can say that they can contribute. But if you compare Nathan Lyon and Ravichandran Ashwin, Ashwin is way better batter than Nathan Lyon. So I think as far as batting down the lower order is concerned, and you can see there's a bit of inexperience also. If you are going with Nitish Kumar Reddy, will be a debut. If you are going with Dhruv Jurel, obviously first time, and not even played 5 test matches. So the transition in your batting and the inexperience you're batting will certainly need someone who has that in him, that overseas 100. Yes, he has overseas 100. He had scored multiple hundreds for India in difficult times. So Ravichandran Ashwin at that position, number 8, somewhere around number 8, number 7 will be a handy call. So Ravichandran Ashwin, and we all know, we talked about, I think, a couple of days ago, him and his partnership with Hanuma Vihari to save that Sydney game. So I think he will be much handy with the bat. So no doubts there. He had batted here in nets also, looking already fine. And the way he has that defensive game also. If India is somewhat in trouble, so you can vouch on him that he can defend out Team India. And apart from this, I think yes, bowling wise it will be very crucial, because this is a very fresh wicket, and as you rightly said, what I was hearing from the curator, because he was giving some inputs. Some of the media guys asked him some question. He said that the wicket is like the head of cat. So I didn't got it at that point of time. I googled what does that mean, that head of cat. So it means that it's very, very tough. It's unbreakable kind of thing. So then I was thinking at that point of time that whether that hard pitch, Ashwin bowling, good height, top arm action, and then ball falling from there, and then just getting the bounce. I think it will be somewhere down the corner. It will assist Ravichandran Ashwin, and especially his tactical analysis that I have to bowl this length and according to this fielding position to Stephen Smith, like what they did with Bharat Arun, Ravi Shastri, Ashwin, Bumrah. They sat and they planned it out, all this, how you can choke Steve Smith. And it worked. And how you can work against Manas Labuschagne, and what you can do against Usman Khwaja. So if you can get in the head of these top 3, I think you have already won the half of the battle. So I think on these points, Ashwin will be your biggest asset.
Ganguly, do me a favor. Can you cut out that clip which I had sent? Not the Sydney one. The Ashwin versus Steve Smith part. Can you get that clip ready for the show? If you don't have it, I'll possibly send it. But the other day when I had sent it to you, you possibly have it. If you can
I
play
do.
that bit. Okay, can you play it now? Is it possible, or will you want to get it ready?
2 minutes. From the
Perfect.
Ashwin interview, right?
Ravi Ashwin on Steve Smith, how
Yeah,
he
I
worked out Steve Smith in 21. Ogni, what had happened was it was the middle of COVID. And by the way, this will be repeated. This you can hear this from Bharat Arun tomorrow. It was in the middle of COVID, and all of a sudden, Ravi Shastri called Arun and he said, "How do we stop Steve Smith?" And Arun is like, "What are you talking about?" And he said, "If you go and check Steve Smith, he will score most of his runs in boundaries and he will score them on the offside. Choke him. Put a 7-2 field and choke him, because don't bowl anything there. Choke Steve Smith. And the moment you make him work for his runs, stop his runs, he will get out." And Arun said, "I don't agree." He said, "You go check the stats and come back." Arun checked and Ravi was right. So they started planning for Steve Smith as to how to stop Smith. Don't give him runs on the offside, bowl him middle and leg, and make him play the other side. Put fielders there, choke him for his runs. Then they went to Australia and got in Ravichandran Ashwin on the plan. He bought in on the plan, and the rest is history. Bowling that middle leg line, caught leg slip, and India went on to win that test match. Ogni, this is the kind of planning that went in. So your thoughts on that, the planning bit as Gargi gets it ready.
I think the clip is ready, Boriada. So let's hear Ashwin before we speak.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
16, 17, I watched Steve Smith like a madman, like literally obsessed over how he made those runs, what he does differently. Why am I not catching certain small cues? See, I think as a bowler, what makes me get those wickets are not my skill or not just my plans. It's that very innate understanding of what a batsman is doing at the last moment and change my bowling according to it at the point of release. And with Steve Smith, I found out that I was not picking those cues that he was giving me. So I had to like get really obsessed with him. There is a movie in Tamil. I'm not sure it's come out in. It'll come on Setmax very soon. I'm sure, where they say, "Tell me who your enemy is. I'll tell you your character." Generally, we say, "We'll show your friends. I'll tell you who you are." But that really stuck out to me. Like, I connect movies with life, what the storyline is saying, and all that. And I realized that I must make obsession of people that I'm not able to get the better of. So I make a very, very clear and earnest attempt of the big dogs and opposition, go to a very, very small detail of how they are doing certain things. How can I break that pattern and all that? And my duel with him in Australia was anything could be stated as anything by anybody. But for me, it was a culmination of what I wanted to achieve all my life.
Back to Sydney, you were standing there. You were standing for 3 hours.
Gargi, that's enough. Gargi, react.
I mean, if you
working to kind of this level to work him out, react to this.
I mean, these are the stories that I love hearing. It's always these stories of obsession, these stories of finding those cues. Not a lot of people work like this. Just to be clear, not a lot of cricketers work like this. Everyone works on their own games and thinks that if I am at my best, if I play my best, then the opposition, will not matter. But sometimes that's not the case. Like Ashwin said, that there were some cues, there were some things that he was not picking up on, and Smith was always two steps forward, 2 steps ahead of Ashwin. So that's where the obsession with the game, that's where the love for the game and the passion for the game comes in. And to go into detail and then analyze the opposition like this, he must have sat through so many videos and analytics. Of course, there are people to help with that when you're at a level like Ashwin, but at the same time, it's important that he wants to do this at the stage of career that he's in. He doesn't have to, but he's doing it. And that's the most incredible part about Ravichandran Ashwin, his genius of the game, his analytical sense of the game. That's what makes him stand out from everyone else.
Ogni.
Yes, Gargi said all those things that I was, preparing to say. It's absolutely right. See, what I said before as well, that you need that experience on the field, and not just experience in terms of test matches. You need that analytical, you need that thinking mind on the field. When there's a partnership building, when suppose India is suffering a collapse, you need that calm on the field or in the dressing room. Ashwin brings that calm. And, one sentence stood out for me when Ashwin is saying the innate ability to understand what a batsman is trying to do and change your plans at the last moment. This comes with loads of experience and tremendous amount of confidence in your game that I will get you out. And I love the fact how he was obsessed with Steve Smith. We have spoken about this multiple times on multiple shows on Rev Sports, but this is really a case study. You mean, you're obsessed with what? You're probably obsessed with your favorite food, your favorite movie, your favorite, clothing. But look at Ashwin. He's obsessed with Steve Smith. He's obsessed with getting Steve Smith out. That is what makes Ashwin stand out. And Ashwin referred to a Tamil movie. I'll refer to an English movie. A lot of us have seen it. The movie is called A Beautiful Mind. It was based on the Nobel laureate economist John Nash. Russell Crowe played John Nash. And if I have to pick a movie title for Ashwin, it has to be A Beautiful Mind.
Rohit Juglan, Devashish Sen, question for you. A lot of people asking what's the plan for India today? When are they practicing? What's happening? Give us a lowdown. Rohit first, then Devashish.
I think after a couple of hours from here, I think Indian team will arrive, and yes, there is a press conference first. Ravichandran Ashwin will be in press conference. Interesting to hear it from him also. That how he's preparing, what Team India is feeling like about the injuries, about Rohit Sharma, about each and everything which are making headlines as of now. And obviously, there is a lot of chatter around the wicket also, because today the first pictures are coming out, from that, the grassy wicket, typical the Optus Stadium wicket. So we will definitely ask it from Ravichandran Ashwin about all of this, and after that, Team India will have a practice session. I think a 3-hour long practice session after that, and which will give you a sense that what they are looking, especially as far as as you said, Buryada, that you are getting this very strongly that Ravichandran Ashwin could be the part of 11. So we ourselves also try that what Team India is doing with Ravichandran Ashwin, how he's preparing, what he's doing with the ball, with the bat, any discussions with Gauti, or any discussions with Bumrah also, and we'll have an eye on Shubman Gill also, whether he'll be here or not. So there are multiple things to see and then report for Rev Sports.
Very, very. Oh, Shubhan also joins us. Thanks, Rohit. Excellent. Yeah, all these little details is what one needs to understand from down under, because just like Ashwin will follow the cues, our reporters will also follow the cues. Shubhan, you were there for the the curator's press conference. What did he say? What is the pitch like? What was the detail that the pitch curator just spoke to you guys in the press conference? Shubhan.
It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. It's going to be spicy. It's going to be a typical Perth wicket. And let's see how there's a little bit of preparations left in terms of making it as a final pitch for the match. But I think we are going to see a spicy pitch which will assist the pacers, and of course it will have a tinge for the spinners as well going forward in the fourth and fifth if the match goes till then. But it's going to be a typical Perth wicket. A lot of assistance for the pacers, and the batters have to play well to score some runs out there.
So this kind of readies India also, Devashish. I mean, it's a good wicket to bowl. Your pacers will come into play. Yeah, Devashish, go on.
Gorilla, what I observed, obviously, when I entered the stadium, the first sight I saw was Pat Cummins and Andrew McDonald having a long chat on the middle, on the 22 yards. So clearly, Pat Cummins was seen, clearly showing some areas where he will bounce the Indians. Obviously, they will be targeting the Indians around chest, something they are uneasy with. So clearly, Pat Cummins was clearly seen showing Andrew McDonald that we want so and so. Means obviously we expect this from. We have seen this in Indian subcontinent, but here in Australia, obviously, Aussies they at least the Aussie media, they say that they don't chatter about too much about the wickets, but we could see the Australian captain and the coach having a long chat in the middle on the 22 years. It went on for almost 15-20 minutes. I was there when the curator was having a brief to the media, but those three, I don't know who was the third gentleman, because I will be sharing the pictures immediately for us to tweet it, but there was a third gentleman in the middle as well. All three of them were having an animated chat in the middle on the 22 yards there on the wicket.
Must be one of the selectors. Could be one of the selectors. But Jasprit Singh, there's a super chat. Good job, guys. Update on Gill, Shami, and Rohit. Rohit, you take that. Update on Gill, from what we understand, what you and I were talking about yesterday. Very slim chance, maybe 1% or 2% for Perth, but clearly very much in line for Adelaide, very much in line for Canberra. Anything else that you have, Rohit, on the super chat from Jasprit Singh?
Yeah, exactly what we had, did a show on this, and break this in Rev Sports Hindi also, that as far as Shubman Gill is concerned, there's no fracture. There's just a damaged tissue, and it will take, I think, a week or more, a little more, to get him on the ground again, and we will see him in action, somewhere around Canberra. If he doesn't play in Canberra, that very much will be a precautionary call rather than anything else. So yeah, what we are getting right now, that he's not ruled out from the first test. There's no press release from the BCCI, that Shubman Gill is ruled out from the first test. There's nothing from them about the fracture also, and that's what I got for, yesterday. In the evening, that there is only a damaged tissue and nothing else. So yeah, it's not very concerning. There are very high chances that we will see him play the Canberra game. Burela.
Shubhan, what is the weather like? You're wearing shades. Is it going to be hot over the next 5 days? Because from Friday, what I saw was it's supposed to clear. Perth can get really hot, really baking hot with that sun and the ozone layer, etc. Direct sun rays. So, by the way, folks, all of you definitely use sunscreen, because in Australia, skin cancer is a serious issue. All of you use sunscreen, and try and buy that sunscreen which will keep flies away, because you guys are clearly being disturbed by flies. By that sunscreen which will keep flies away. Shubhan, weather and the rest of the thing before I go to Ogni and Gargi.
Even SPF 55 is not working here. It's not working here. It's pretty hot. But the Aussie stores have some specialized sunscreen for their weather, particularly for their weather. So I'll have to buy one if I have to save myself from this heat. But it gets hot. It gets pretty hot when it's sunny. It gets pretty hot. It is not as humid as we get the weather in India, but it is very harsh sunlight. You can say direct sunlight, as you were saying. But yesterday we witnessed some rain. Today also, when we were leaving from our apartment, it was pretty overcast, pretty dark. Right now also there's a patch of dark cloud above me, but nothing worrisome. And as the match comes closer, we will see the weather clear out. But during the afternoon phase, around 1 p.m., 12 p.m., it gets really hot, and after that it eases out. The wind starts to flow from the Fremantle area, but it starts to ease out. But when it's hot, when it's sunny, it is very difficult to be in the direct sunlight for a long time.
There's a super chat. What about Saha in IPL auction? Will play 3 years. You're trying to needle me.
No,
Unfortunately,
he has
folks,
retired.
it's not going to
He
happen
has
like that.
retired. He has retired.
But the truth is, listen, as far as his cricket is concerned, I will always and always wish him well. Always and always wish him well. Make no mistake about it. As far as his cricket, I want him to win that Ranji Trophy for Bengal. This is his last season. I want him to win that Ranji Trophy for Bengal and retire on a high. Personally, he might not be a good human being because he lied. But on his cricket, as far as his cricket is concerned, I will always wish any cricketer well. So if that was for me, by the way, he's not part of the IPL auction or even the Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy. Ogni, Washington Sundar, lot of people are asking that Tall also gets bounced. Why are you saying Ashwin? Is it because of the experience? Is it because Rohit is not there? So the part of the leadership group, why did you envisage that Ashwin will be better? Before I ask Gargi to play another clip.
Because of this reason. Simply because of this reason. Because of this reason. See, in Australia, down under, you'll be under a lot of pressure and there will be a lot of mental battles on the field. The moment Smith, Labuschagne, Khawaja see Ashwin making it into that starting 11, they will feel that psychological pressure. So there will be a lot of mind games in Border Gavaskar Trophy, starting with Perth. The moment Ashwin walks in, the moment Ashwin is given the red cherry to ball to the likes of Khawaja, Labuschagne and Smith, they will be under some kind of pressure, especially considering what Ashwin has achieved against them in the past, be it in India, be it in Australia. Number one. Number two, you are giving a lot of batters debut. You are giving a lot of players debut, in fact. So probably Nitish Kumar Reddy will make his debut in Australia. High chances Akashdeep will make his debut in Australia, not in Test cricket, but in Australia. So a lot, Yashasvi Jaiswal will make his debut in Australia. So a lot of players are going to play in Australia for the first time. And somewhere down the line, with no Rohit at the top, with no Shubman Gill, you need an experienced campaigner, just to keep things calm, just to win you the mental battles, just to keep an eye out, just match an eye for an eye with the Aussies. So from that perspective, Ashwin also comes in very handy. And Washington Sundar is an extremely handy batter, as was proved in the last Border Gavaskar Trophy in Australia as well, against the recent New Zealand series as well. But really, you were questioning somebody with 6-7 test hundreds. I think that's really unfair. And it's really unfair that we haven't played Ashwin enough overseas. Really unfair.
Gargi, there's a super chat. Take that and then play that clip. Jasprit Bumrah, Michael Clarke on Jasprit Bumrah. Take that super chat. If India could score 350, match is on. I don't think 350 is going to be that easy. 250 for Perth would be par.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, 350 looks good to type, but very difficult to actually score. So in the best case scenario, 350 would be the best thing for India. But how realistic is that? How pragmatic is that? I'm not sure. But anything above 250, 270 would be very good to start the match with. There's one more super chat. We'll take that later. But what clip do you want me to play?
Yeah, okay. Let's take that super chat. Rohit.
Okay.
Rohit can address this super chat while you play the Michael Clarke clip on Jasprit Bumrah, because I want to talk to all my Australia guests on leadership. What is Praneet Datta saying? What are the chances of Sarfaraz? Are they shunting him out without giving him a chance? He will remain in Indian condition player. Rohit, take that.
It's not like that he will remain an Indian condition player. It's all about who's there, better equipped technically, and the experience wise also. It's not about that all the freshers who are scoring runs in India, they are not getting their chances here in Australia. Mayank Agrawal is a perfect example that if the selectors, if the team management has confidence in your technique, they will definitely bring you here. And like what we are seeing with Abhimanyu Ishwaran, they stopped Devdutt Padikkal rather than giving Abhimanyu Ishwaran a number 3 position. So it's all about how the team management is thinking about you technically, about your game. The way he scored a century in Bengaluru, I think there he put up his hand and said that, I can score in difficult conditions also, where there is seam friendly conditions. I can score the runs there also. But I think it will take his own time. I definitely see this in future that if Team India's batting doesn't do well here, there might be a chance for Sarfaraz Khan in the coming games. But as of now, it's not like that. They are shutting his chances of giving him any kind of opportunity here in Australia. It will come by, but I think he's not on the first 11 list.
A lot of people are saying, why no Washington Sundar, guys? Like, there is a no-brainer for Virat Kohli in the starting 11, like Jasprit Bumrah, Rishabh Pant in the starting 11. Ashwin is a no-brainer in the starting 11. Simple one-line answer. He is your best spinner. Play him, irrespective of the pitch and conditions. Simple.
Hey, Gargi, can you play the clip? Because I want to go to Devashish and Shubhan on that. Yeah. Jasprit as bowler and leader, can he kind of do the job for India in the absence of Rohit Sharma? Michael Clarke.
He's the best bowler in the world across all 3 formats. There's no doubt about it. He's as confident as I've seen him. He's bowling as well as I've seen him. He'll want to dominate this series, and what better way to start than be captain? Look, I haven't seen him captain, but I've seen him bowl. I've seen him in the field. I've seen him play for India and be a senior player in that team. I think it'll inspire him. I don't think Bumrah will shy away from one thing on that cricket field. I think he's got leadership qualities. There's no doubt about it. He's vice captain of the team. Give him a crack. If I was India, I'd be backing him 100%.
Devashish, then take that. Jasprit Bumrah, huge responsibility, huge opportunity. Gargi, by the way, our editor has sent the pitch curator clip. Can you just check the group? Because if we can play 1 minute, Shubhan can react to that. But Devashish, Jasprit Bumrah.
It will be a huge challenge for Bumrah, especially in the first test match with the absence of Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill. But obviously, when there is a tougher challenge, you get the best out of your the premier players, and that is what the challenge for Bumrah will be, because yes, India will definitely fill the absence of Rohit and Shubman, but Bumrah, we all see he is a match winner in his own right. And clearly, as Michael Clarke said, that he would expect Bumrah to lead that Indian bowling spirit, and obviously to inspire the youngsters in the side. If suppose that Mohammad Siraj is not in that playing 11, then you are literally playing your inexperienced two fast bowlers. Be it a Prasidh Krishna or be it a Harshit Rana, whoever is playing, or even for that matter, Nitish Reddy, whoever is playing, they hardly had any opportunity of playing red ball cricket in Australian conditions. So I think in that case, Bumrah will have to lead the way. And clearly, it was evident that he was having a word with Gautam Gambhir and Virat Kohli. Yesterday, I shared a picture of Virat Kohli, Gautam Gambhir, and Jasprit Bumrah in the nets. So you could clearly make out that there's a lot of talks going around. Also, Bumrah was seen having a word with Ajit Agarkar and Subrata Banerjee in the middle. So clearly, you could see that he is enjoying the role. Obviously, obviously it will be challenging, but it will also test his character, how he leads the team.
Shubhan, Subbu, by the way, but 3 for 47 Australia. Subbu did not get an opportunity after that because Azhar didn't get him to bowl. By the way, Subbu's related to me in a distant way. So
I know.
Subbu's father used to stay in our house at one point in time. Anyway, Shubhan, your thoughts on Bumrah from what you've seen so far in Australia? I'll ask Rohit that same question. And by that time, if Gargi could get ready that Curator's bite, we want to play that also. You've got it ready. Super. But Shubhan, go for Jasprit Bumrah.
I think, see, during the one-off test against England, the fifth test match, he made some mistakes as a captain, but it was his first test, so we have to give him a chance to learn from his mistake and get back in a better shape as a captain. But what we saw yesterday, he was having a lot of conversations with plenty of players. In fact, not one or two, but plenty of players. So in that regard, I think Jasprit Bumrah has always been a calm character. He's not like he's a much more similar to an MS Dhoni rather than a Virat Kohli or Rohit Sharma. He's a much more calmer character. Does not speak much. Does not react much. So in that way, I think he will bring a sense of calmness in a situation where teams can get a bit panicky. No Rohit Sharma, no Shubman Gill. You need 4 wins to qualify for the WTC final. You have been whitewashed for the first time ever. Teams can get a bit panicky there, but Jasprit Bumrah's calmness and that demeanor of carrying himself well, I think that will augur well for the Indian team. And as Debashish also said, if you are playing a Harshit Rana, if you are playing a Nitish Kumar Reddy, if you are playing a Prasidh Krishna, I think that experience in the bowling group, I think as in the batting group, there are enough players to maneuver things around, like a Virat Kohli, like someone like a Ravichandran Ashwin down the order. I'm talking about someone like Ravindra Jadeja. If he plays, you have plenty of characters there. But in the bowling group, in the pace bowling department, I think if you're playing a Harshit Rana, Prasidh Krishna, Nitish Kumar Reddy, you will need someone like Jasprit Bumrah with that calm demeanor to carry things forward. And I think he's a good choice to have a captain. But whether he has learned from his mistakes of the past, let's see. Only the match will tell us that.
Ogni, your thoughts on Jasprit Bumrah before Gargi plays that clip, and I go to Rohit.
Shubhan very rightly said, Boryada, we need to give Jasprit Bumrah some time. And guys, please cut him some slack. He's going to don that Indian blazer and go out for toss with Pat Cummins on the 22nd, which is just one day away. So cut him some slack. He's an extremely calm and composed character on the field. See, he leads the Indian bowling pack, make no mistake. And please understand the fact that Jasprit Bumrah alone will not make certain calls on the field. There will be a core leadership group on the field. Exactly one of the reasons why I have been advocating for Ravichandran Ashwin in the playing 11 for a long time. There will be a core of leadership group on the field that includes a Virat Kohli, that includes an Ashwin, that includes a Rishabh Pant, that even includes a KL Rahul. People who are experienced. So a core leadership group will decide certain critical decisions on the field. But yes, Shubhan very rightly said, Boryada, he's not a Rohit or Virat. He's very much like an MS Dhoni. He's a calm and composed character. And he has that ability and he has the guts to face Australia and take Australia head on. So Bumrah is an automatic choice for captaincy if Rohit Sharma doesn't play. And I think he's going to do well. Let's not judge him by that one-off test against England.
Can we play that clip and then Rohit, all of you take that clip. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely not traditional Perth Test prep weather at all, has it? Yesterday we pretty much lost the whole day of prep with it being undercover. So we kind of saw the forecast early on, and we started prep a little bit earlier than we normally would. So we're sitting quite comfortable still. Be nice if the sun would pop out and do its job, but as of this morning, we're in a good spot. We're really comfortable as a curating team.
What difference would you see the weather making to how the wicket plays?
I mean, everyone talks about the traditional baking of the top. We can kind of manufacture that with more rolling and less water on top if we have to. We're testing the wicket hour by hour, so it's a bit of quite conditions based at the moment. So at the moment we're leaning towards rolling it a bit more on top to get that firmness and that happy medium between bat and ball. But yeah, fingers crossed the sun pops out.
So you would say that it's probably well in favour of the ball at the moment then?
I think the overhead conditions make it more than the softness or the firmness of the pitch to be. We're happy with the grass cover. It's nice and healthy. Base moisture is really good. Base firmness is really good. It's just a matter of just tweaking it's just tweaking the top and making sure we're ready for Friday morning, not tomorrow morning.
How long, obviously,
So Rohit, clearly, how much can the weather impact? Because he's talking about it, did not get adequate preparation because all day was gone yesterday. Rohit has also changed it like the Perth weather. Anyway, he's back. Yes, Rohit. After I go to the after.
No, I think the weather will be good. I think after today, I think it will be. It doesn't getting as any rain is what I'm thinking right now. I was checking the weather forecast also. There's nothing on Friday, so I think what the curator is saying that he wants some breakdown of this from the sun. I think he'll get that. He's getting that today only. And yes, yesterday's the preparation will definitely be hampered by the rain. But I think today there's good. Means good amount of heat here outside, and that's what make it work. So as far as conditions are concerned, I'm not saying it, I'm not seeing it the last two tests what had happened against West Indies and then against Pakistan also. It was under a scrutiny at that point of time that it's not the same Perth pitch, which we all know that has bounce and zip of the surface. But I think this time around he'll make it. And he was when he was coming also, he said I was reading somewhere that he said somewhere about the pitch that it will be a fast and furious pitch, and he was like driving like also the fast and furious cast, like he was coming onto this small vehicle which they drive into the ground, and he was coming like we all hearing some movie dialogues at The Beautiful Mind and other movie dialogue from Ashwin also. So I think he was also coming like this with I'm forgetting the name of that actor who is no more, but I think Ognida or Shubhanda knows his name.
Paul Walker.
Who?
Paul Walker.
Paul Walker. Yes.
Yeah.
Paul Walker. It was coming like Paul Walker, and yeah. So I think that's come very originally to him that it will be a fast and furious wicket.
Fast and furious wicket. Whether so much, he said, if you could roll it, there could be more firmness, etc. Lot of chat on the Perth wicket. Have you seen so much talk last time round, or even 18? I've not seen this kind of talk about the cricket pitch. Devashish, the kind of obsession we are seeing this time. Devashish?
Yeah, obviously, clearly, the talk has been surrounding the wicket leading up to the first Test match, and Australia knows it. If you look at the scheduling of the Test matches here in this series, particularly Perth, Adelaide, Brisbane, so Australia has a fair chance of go 3-0 ahead with the conditions heavily in favor of them. Means if Australian fast bowlers play according to their potential, they has all they can very well cause trouble for the Indians, cause challenges for an Indian, and obviously the curator is making life challenging for the Indian batters. Let me put it out really. Obviously, this wicket, the pictures that I said, there will be mowing, but not much. They will leave some bit of grass for assistance to the fast bowlers. Yes, there will be assistance from pacers from both sides, but India won't be having a Mohammad Shami to utilize the conditions in a year. So and Mohammad Siraj is not in the form of his life. He has not looked in recent times. He has not been in great form. So a bit of thing here, obviously the likes of a Prasidh Krishna or a Harshit Rana or a Nitish Reddy, to adjust to the line and length in these conditions will be really, really challenging. You might go very, if you try too many things, trying to getting excited with the wicket, you can actually eventually get many runs. You can actually let go the Australian go away with you scoring runs plenty. And we all know the stroke makers in someone like a Steve Smith who always fancy scoring runs and at a brisk pace. So obviously the line and length will be crucial for the Indian bowlers, especially I'm talking about the inexperienced lot. So things are going to be very challenging. Yes, and how quickly they get used to the line and length on this pitch will depend the outcome of the match of the first test match.
Gargi, Amardeep Grewal, my Aussie colleagues think India will win 3-2. Take that super chat. Amardeep Grewal, my Aussie colleagues think, by the way, Rohit Bhai's daughter. So yes, on behalf of everyone, Rohit Juglan's daughter, wish her a happy birthday. We did that yesterday, but we pray for her good health, happiness, and a great life. Absolutely. Gargi, take that. Amardeep Grewal, India will win 3-2. Ogni smiling.
Your Aussie colleagues are much more optimistic than our Indian colleagues because I don't think at this point anyone is thinking of this outcome. If this is the outcome, I think there will be a celebration at the end of the BGT.
Listen, if this is the outcome, then on 8th of January, all 8 of us in Australia, I am giving you a yacht party at the Sydney Harbour.
Let's go.
There's no debate. All of us will be on a yacht party at the Sydney Harbour.
No. You should give us a party if India goes on to win the Sydney Test match. Why talk about the series, man? If India goes on to win the Sydney Test match, because I definitely feel that India has a very less chance of winning the series this time round.
Even if India wins Melbourne, listen, India wins Melbourne, India wins Sydney. One of the two test matches, we are in for a party, no question. Anyway, okay, closing comments, folks. This is very important. Today, between 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. India time, all of these guys from Australia, Ogni, Gargi, and here's what we are doing. So we are actually assigning, where did it go? So we are assigning teams to all of our colleagues. So Trisha will take RCB. Johns, the social media champion, Johns will take CSK. Ogni, KKR. Debashish, Gujarat Titans. Gargi, Delhi Capitals. Rohan, Punjab Kings. Vaibhav, Rajasthan Royals. Shubhan, Lucknow Super Giants. Bharat, Sunrisers Hyderabad. And Rohit, Mumbai Indians. So 10 teams to our 10 colleagues, and we will be doing a mock auction between 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. India time. Look at Rohit. He's already started to sort of plan.
Five-time champions. What are the 5-time champions?
5-time champions.
Defending
Wonderful.
champions, Rohit Bhai, defending champions. Three
So the
defending
banter has
champions.
started in the studio. On that note, let's close this show. Plenty to happen. India practice, Ashwin press conference, mock auction, 12 noon India time, Brad Hogg interview by Debashish Singh and 3 p.m. Michael Clarke. Yes, Ogni.
বাংলা লাইভটা করছি 12টা, এটা একটু বলে দাও।
একদম 12টার সময় অগ্নি আমি দেবাশিস জয়েন করবে আমাদের সাথে ফ্রম পার্থ। আমরা তিনজন বাংলার লাইভ প্রত্যেক দিন করব, যেরকম হিন্দি 11 o'clock Rohit, Shubhan, they decide the timing depending on press conference and practice and all of that, but 12 noon we are back with Bangla. Ogni, ami, Debashish. For the moment, Gargi, Debashish, Rohit, Shubhan, Ogni and everyone watching, thank you very, very much.